This is another clean face tutorial, so you start it with nothing. I used a read and roll pass as a straight edge to put on the boxes for where the galaxy would be. You can put these in any way you want. I chose to do one going down, but I split it in the middle. And I did, initially, this is a very small clip of it, have one on the side, but I did not actually want that, so. Then filling in the shapes that I made. There's that shape that I removed, but the two horizontal ones? No, the vertical. The two vertical ones are the ones that I colored in. And then you take this makeup sponge. It's a little triangle shape. That's the one you get at the store, the really cheap ones. And you kind of pluck out lots of bits with your fingers. And this makes it more into a stipple thing. So it isn't just a square stamp thing, because you're using this as a bit of a stamp. So you'll take it, you'll swirl it in the water-activated paint, which is what I used. The colors I used were blue, purple, pink, and then a little bit of red. First I used blue because I started with the darkest. And you kind of take that and you kind of smash it into your face where it goes. You really need a pretty thick layer of paint for these two. Like this, I made that face because it barely shows up when you have a little, so you really gotta load it up. Swirl it in there, slap it on, slap it on. So after stippling the blue on, I went and moved into purple, which I just really took the remainder of the blue on the sponge and I smeared it in the pink, which made like I guess it's lavender. And then I put that up towards the top because that's just kind of where I want it to be. And you can have the colors go wherever you want them to in your split. This is a very adaptable makeup, I guess, because you can really do anything. It's pretty simple. And when you layer the colors, it just looks better and better, so really keep layering. And don't be afraid to get messy. I tried really hard not to get the stippling shape outside of the black outlines, but it's pretty easy to clean up, and I just cleaned it up later with a makeup wipe. And this is me adding the highlight, or the brightest part of the Cosmos system, which I did with white and the same stipple brush. And I put that in the pink areas because those were already the lightest. Then taking a very, very small brush, I think it's a lip brush, and in the water activated paint, I added little stars, or these were kind of the big ones, and I used lots of different ways to put the stars on because I wasn't really sure. But I wanted it to be more of a galaxy, so I made, there's probably a name, but I guess it's I don't know, like how the Milky Way is. It's like a big section of stars, so I added this little S shape, and then another S shape by it, which made a big, giant, swirling mass towards the top. And I did this right on where the highlight point is, so it looks really, really bright where the center of the stars are. And then I added a couple more star trails throughout, and then I just did stars everywhere. And at one point, pretty soon, I get an eyebrow brush, like to brush through the strands of your eyebrow hairs, and I dip that in the paint, and I kind of smacked that on, which didn't work because it was me using it there. It didn't work very well, but I made some very small stars, which was was nice because I didn't want to use a splatter technique because this is trying to be as neat as I can. Then making some larger stars with the brush again. I wanted it to look like it was sunken in, like there's two layers to my face, my skin and then the galaxy. So I took a light brown shadow and I just kind of smudged it along the outlines about half a centimeter away from where the black outline is. And then once I had that down, I took another brush and I blended it all out so it's more of a faint line, and then I added in a little bit more wherever I thought there would be more of a shadow. So like around the corners, I gave it a little extra in a darker mocha. And then of course I highlight it, which I forgot to show, but there's a clip of me showing it off. And that you just take a white color and you put it right next to the black. So I think you can see it here that I've lightened some of the spots, especially the top, sides, and corners. This just gives it some variation. Then I decided to make a cut crease, or I tried to make a cut crease, but I don't know how. So it really ended up as a smoky eye. I took some grays and then I graded it to black. And I winged it out because I wanted that side to be super dramatic. So I wung it out. Then I went in to the eye itself. Oop. I already did it. Actually, I added blue, pink, and purple. Blue in the inner corner, pink in the middle, and purple on the outside. I tried to put white eyeshadow on the inner corner, like the inner pull-in, so it was like a dual wing, so like a wing on the inside, but it didn't show up, so I eventually used face paint, and you see that later on. But this is me doing the eyebrow. Sorry, I'm like falling behind. The eyebrow is pretty simple. I covered it last tutorial. It's just a triangle where my eyebrow ends because I shave it off. You make that triangle and you do the tricky part of the tail. You just hold your breath and you swipe it down. Give it a nice little curve, and then you fill it in and make sure it looks good. Then I'm taking that same small lip brush to create more of the stars on the wing, the smoky wing. Just dotting it around. It's actually harder than you think to not put them in a pattern because your brain really wants to put them in a pattern. And stars are very random, and it's a little hard to put them randomly because you want to like put them in nice little lines. So you have to try really hard to just splatter them around, which is why the splattering technique helps and looks good because it doesn't look as human or man-made, I guess. Then I took a black eyeliner and I made little tiny black dots on the opposite side after I had put the white face paint in. Then I also went back in with the same eyeliner and added little crosshatch stars. I guess they're like twinkly stars because they're like larger. But this added some fun variation. And then once I was done with that, I used the same eyeliner to add some black dots, black stars to the Cosmo part of the face, just to add some extra texture to it. Then, since my face was a little flat and I wanted to be sparkly galaxy, I took the same highlight color I almost always use with the white gold. I think it's called Virtue from Bare Minerals. It's not actually a highlight, it's an eyeshadow. And I put it on this like angled cheek brush, and I just kind of put that in all the high points, so under the eyes, forehead, top of where your cheekbone, top of your cheekbone, chin, cupid's bow. Then I added some gold to the lips just to give it a little extra, and I also took some gold and I smudged it under the eye between the black smoky and the white smoky, not smoky. And that's the final look. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you want to, it would be nice. It's an easy way for me to see that people have enjoyed my videos, and subscribe to see more.